God bless you guys. This is Sean here. I was taking a nap. I woke up. I'm gonna go back to sleep. I just wanted to kind of share some stuff with you. It's kind of crazy. I grew up watching superhero movies. I found out a lot of them were most of them, I would say, in fact, are demons. Spider-Man. It's based off these demons called shadow catchers. Um, I saw a goblin suit that they did like a screen test for the original guy. It was the same guy that played Green Goblin, but it was a different concept, the mask. But it was crazy because I saw that in the dream. The weird thing is, I had compared, people basically, I'm trying to think. Well, basically, Yeshua was showing me some comparison between the whole pumpkin head, the whole Jack Skellington thing, and this whole Green Goblin character who has pumpkin bombs, you know, and showing me about Jack jumping into the green acid, from Nightmare Before Christmas, and he had the pumpkin forehead, jumped in the green acid. Then you got the Green Goblin with pumpkin bombs. And, man, you got some serious parallels in movies that Satan is doing, but that Green Goblin concept, I'd never seen that face before, but in the dream, it's like I saw Jack Nicholson's eyes from The Shining because he's a type of the Pumpkin King. His name is Jack, and you have the green acid from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. You also have Napier being thrown into green acid, Well, I saw him with these goblin eyes, just representing the Pumpkin King, because he had the whole Joker face type. And there's demons like this, but man, he had those eyes of the goblin, like those beady yellow eyes. Well, I just saw these today, and the original concept of the goblin costume, they showed those. Man, that looks demonic. It's like that goblin face is not a mask that he wears in the original concept. It looks like a demon, and it proved that these are demons. This goblin is a demon, or they're demons that look like that with the big pointy ears. And the original Sam Raimi concept, because he was the director of The Evil Dead, did for Spider-Man. This thing looked gross looking. I mean, very evil looking. I mean, to me, that's what I consider really to be the Goblin. So you might want to go look it up. William Dafoe, Green Goblin, the original test. I mean, it was crazy, man. He could do expressions in this mask, and it would make the eyes go up or whatever. I mean, it was so demonic looking. But it just represents how Satan wants to be the king of the harvest, the pumpkin king it represents, and the Green Goblin with his pumpkin bombs. And, they say the whole thing, Peter, pumpkin eater. And, Peter Parker's worst enemy is a goblin that has those pumpkin bombs, And there's all kinds of esoteric things that they do in these movies, of course, to mock God, Peter Parker is upside down as Spider-Man. Yeshua's Peter was crucified upside down. He didn't feel like he was worthy. And Yeshua's Peter, he caught fish. And you see the fish, the web of the spider like fish, on Spider-Man. You see that web representing also the World Wide Web. And it's for occult knowledge. A spider is a symbol of occult knowledge. And man, there's just so much esoteric stuff that's in these movies, like they're doing, But I'm studying again. I'm looking at the book of Daniel and just trying to understand it. And it seems from what I understand, this ram basically, I think the ram is having to do with Persia and everything, but it's attacking because I'm studying the symbols and it's explaining what they mean in Daniel. But basically, how this war starts is some kind of ram representing it has two horns on its head, representing Media and Persia. It represents, Media and Persia, and it stirs up against all the realm of Grecia, somewhere Greece apparently. And the head of the goat is represented as the king of Grecia, or that's the seat of the king, and the horn is the first king. But basically, this goat attacks this ram that stirred him up. Media and Persia is going to stir him up, and he's going to just stamp on them. Breaks his two horns of Media and Persia. You see the false prophet also getting his horns. You see the false prophet, his kingdom is divided into Media and Persia, I believe, because in the Bible, the son of King Nebuchadnezzar, he got his kingdom broken up into the Medes and Persians. God said, your kingdom is divided, and he got slayed. But Yeshua actually told me in the dream a while back that the Antichrist would be like the king of Babylon, and the king of Babylon's son would be like the false prophet. But so it may not be that the ram is something to do. It's something to do with the ram, though, that has to do with the false prophet. Maybe Media and Persia is given to him later. But anyways, this goat comes in and steps on him. And he has a horn. The goat is the head of the king of Grecia. And the great horn is the first king. But as soon as he stamps him down, as soon as Grecia, the king of Grecia, stamps, Media and Persia down, break the two horns of that ram. Media and Persia splits it in half. Then as soon as he's powerful, his great horn is broken. Maybe his power is broken. And his kingdom is divided into 4 parts. There's 4 other horns that come up representing 4 kings. And they have their deal. And out of that comes another horn. And that's for the Antichrist, you know. So that's like almost like 5 horns right there. Plus that other great horn, you know. You got the great horn. And then it's broken and divided up into 4 other horns. And then you got out of that 5th horn, you know, and it starts out small. So the Antichrist starts out really small, and I think that's those 5 fallen kings, because it says 5 are fallen, 1 is not. But I know this, when it tells you in that part of Daniel, when it said, I saw 4 beasts, 1 was like a lion, 1 was like a bear, or 1 was like a lion, 1 was like a bear. The 3rd one was a leopard, and the 4th beast was more powerful than them all. And it said, and the angel told Daniel that these beasts represent 4 different kingdoms. And of course, there's 4 different kings over them. And the 4th beast shall be dreadful, and we understand that as the world government, and the Antichrist sitting on that. But you jump over to the book of Revelation, you see those 4 beasts repeated, you know. You see this one beast having the mouth of a lion. That's the first beast of the book of Daniel. It has the feet of a bear. That's the second beast of the book of Daniel. And it has like the body like a leopard. And so that's the 3rd beast. And so it seems like when this 4th beast breaks the other 3 before him, the 3 kingdoms, he assimilates them. And this is why he's shown me esoterically different characters, like how the clown, for instance, is an anamorph character. He will beat his opponents, and then he will assimilate them. Like, he rips off little Georgie's arm, kills him, and then he appears to the kids as little Georgie. So that's sort of like what this beast kingdom is. He assimilates. After he defeats kingdoms, he takes their power. And so they're going to be working with him, yeah. But this is esoteric. But this is why he was showing me how he was combining the headless horseman with the pumpkin head. He was combining it with the green goblin. He was combining it with different things. It's like when Satan, when he takes certain things down, he prides himself. He'll take a little of that person's whatever. But there's 4 pictures of Christ in the book of Revelation. The 4 living creatures. There's the, see if I can remember, the lion. And that's sort of like the first beast of Satan's anti-lion. You know, the Lion of Judah. And then you got the bull or the oxen or whatever you want to call it, and it's like for sacrifice, you know, because we're called to be have the sacrifice of the lamb and everything. And then you have so that bull represents priesthood, and then you have the 3rd is the eagle, because you know those who wait on the Lord renew their strength. Yeshua flew up into heaven as an eagle, and then also you have the man. That's the 4th person, you know, because Yeshua became a person and walked in the Lord. These are the 4 pictures of Christ. And so these 4 beast kingdoms that Satan's doing are like him. Mouth of a lion, ugly mouth, speaking blasphemous things. Feet of a bear, you know, just trampling. I mean, the way the feet of a bear look. You have body like a leopard, which can be spotted. They actually say spotted leopards are actually Black Panthers. And so Black Panther, that character, is a perfect type of that 3rd beast. And then the 4th one, basically all of them combined, just assimilates him, you know. He has each attributes of those things, you know. And so he'll be working through them. And so you just got to put it together. The hardest part of the book of Daniel, I seem to understand the other part. The hardest part is the king of the north and the king of the south. That's the hardest part. But, you know, he's shown me some of these things from time to time, guys. But there's going to be a great war, and there's going to be people at the end of this saying that after the rapture happened and we were gone after that 3.5-year period of tribulation, and we who hid out and we left, you know, we hid outside because if we stay in our houses, Yeshua said they would come and kill us. But when we're told to go, when we go, if we're ready, if we're out of sin, then we'll know, we'll hear God's voice to go. But if somebody's if they're in sin, they try to leave, and Yeshua, you know, if they're in sin, then they'll be caught, Yeshua said, you know. Their sin will find them out, you know. So they got to be out of sin. But after we're gone, they're going to be saying aliens came and got us, and I think they're going to have, from what Yeshua said, there's going to be aliens appearing, like, and pretending to be bad aliens and scaring people after we are come and got, so that they can, people can feel unsafe from these bad aliens, and then this Antichrist will come in maybe shortly after that. I mean, he'll already be appearing, but he'll come in and say, we're going to help you fight the bad ones. But it's a complete lie, fabrication. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but it's something to do with this alien deception thing. And that's sort of how this goblin creature is, you know, representing these aliens. You know, the whole Jolly Green Giant thing, and how there's going to be a giant like Goliath. There's the image of the beast is, I told you that, I called in the Book of Harvest the giant, and they actually named this thing the giant, and it looked just like it. You know, it can holograph any kind of image on it or whatever, pixelate on it, you know, and it's like a TV shaped by a man. It has the lines on it, you know, and it can assimilate. And I saw those same lines exactly the way it looks in the Digimon episode of Angemon, or Magna Angemon, and when he digivolves, you see all those lines on him. That's exactly what it looks like, but when it assimilates, it'll cover those things. You can go look up the trailer of the giant. And so that's almost like they're displaying this guy is going to be, whoever's going to be pulled up on it is going to be an angel. And so it's just a demonic deception, this whole Antichrist thing. So I was called, God called the first beast in the book of Revelation, he called him Antichrist in the dream, and the second one he called him Anti-Man, because he's the second one, the false prophet, is the one who has man put to death, you know, for if they don't worship the first one. But anyways, I'm going to let you go. Guys, I'm just trying to share with you some neat stuff. You can go check out that whole Goblin thing. You know, I think it was a screen test for the first Spider-Man movie, when they had William Dafoe as a Green Goblin. You look it up. That thing looks demonic. That's no doubt about it. So Yeshua is showing me that this is types of what the beast is, you know. Just types of them, you know. The whole pumpkin king with the pumpkin bombs in his head. He's another type of the pumpkin king, just in a different esoteric way, you know, like Satan saying he's the king of the harvest. In other words, he's going to get your souls, is what it's represented. And, you know, and that whole green color for, like, fossil life and everything. But, anyways, I'm going to let you go, guys. I love you. I am praying for you. Until next time, shalom.